We are live, everybody. Come on now. How's everyone doing on this Thursday? I believe it's Thursday. Good afternoon. I realize it's late over in Europe right now. Oh man, we're live on Instagram. We're live on YouTube. Hope everybody's doing well. Let me just make sure you guys can hear me. Okay, let me know in the chat who's going to be up first. Here we go. Bum, 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 bum. We're going to get, let me just try and find one here. Oh my goodness. There we go. Edward is first on the screen. Edward from Worcestershire, UK. Hello, hello. And yes, where are you watching from? Ooh, it's late, Edward. Thank you for staying up late. I know I'm going live a little bit later today, but hold on. Let me just make sure this is muted. Okay, there we go. I know I'm going live a little bit later, but that's just it. Just the day got a little away from me, so that's why we're going live at 4:15 p.m. local time. And yes, Instagram. Thanks for tuning in. I'm live over on YouTube as well. So if you want to hop over to YouTube, I think the audio quality will be a little bit better. I see you though, Ivan and Andy and Hugh over on Instagram. Okay, here we go. Come on now. Where are you watching from? And yes, how was your doorknob turn today? How was your run today? I did 22 miles at about 6:55 a mile. So feeling good about that run, a long run in the week. And we will break down some marathon training chat here in a minute. But first, let's get some more names up on the screen. Doorknob time. Oh, my. Dylan's from good old Kentucky. And I want to mention, I'm still working on the basement situation. So my computer is literally sitting on top of a cardboard box right now. So it's kind of shaky and it drives me crazy. So I'm going to do my best not to shake the box. Do forgive me. It's just like I don't have my regular setup here yet. I want to say studio, but it's not the studio. Okay, Peter's here from London. Thank you, Peter, for tuning in. Mexico City, there we go, is here. El Chic, there we go. Okay, onward and upward. All right, let's see who else is watching from Manchester, UK. Awesome. Eli's up in Boulder, Colorado, just up the road from where I live. Awesome. We got Jose and two from Mexico City. That's what I like to hear. Zach is over in Wales. Again, thank you for staying up late if you are over in Europe. You must be a little bit of a night owl. Ryan's here. What up, DGR? Hope everyone is well. Ryan is a member of the channel. Thank you, Ryan. I do appreciate it, Ryan. Okay, here we go. Hello from little old Nolensville, Tennessee. That sounds like a fun little town. Hello, Eileen from San Diego, tuning in. Oh, yeah. And then we got Krishna watching from Chicago. Very good. And then we got Panda from Pittsburgh. I like that name, Panda. Australia for Daniel. Sweden for Nico. Just past midnight in Amsterdam. Oh, gosh. I love Amsterdam. What a great city. Love Amsterdam. That was my first marathon. Speaking of marathon training, and let's get some runs up on the screen here. How was your run today? Let's see. Victoria, Texas is here. Peterborough, Canada. Okay, there we go. Shannon says, rest day, but 83 miles thus far in September. Great job, Shannon. 83 miles. That is awesome. I know rest days are never the best, but I'm glad you took one. Okay, and we're still live over on Instagram. Thanks for tuning in on Instagram. Okay, and of course, I'm live on YouTube in case you're just tuning in on Instagram. Silverton, Oregon is here. Easy day, easy 7 on the Boston course today. Ooh, Sean, are you running Boston? Maybe you're getting ready. Let us know. Boston is a month away, as well as Chicago. And yes, before I forget, actually, I'm going to ask all of you a question. Okay, let's do this. Who ran a marathon in 2021 on the roads, okay? Who is going to run a marathon in 2021 on the roads? All right, let us know. Sean, thank you for tuning in, okay? Hello from Milwaukee. What's going on, Joe? Thanks for tuning in, okay? And Rasmus is tuning in from Denmark. Luca's here. Okay. Oh, there we go. Ray won. Okay, you half marathon on Saturday. There we go. That's moving in the right direction. I know Stockholm is a very, very fast course. Okay. John says we'll run in tonight for 45 minutes. Okay, that's good. That's good. And David is saying hello from upstate New York. Piano Man going for 16 by 400 on the track after the stream. Nice. Ooh, I like that. That's a good workout right there. So, I am embarking, in case you did not see today's vlog, I am embarking on my third, and I'm gonna read more of your comments, but I'm gonna let them stream in a little bit, okay? And hopefully, am I clear image here? Let me just see here on YouTube. I might need to bump it up too. Sometimes you have to bump just so you know, down just in that corner, just kind of down over there or over there, there's a little wheel. And if you click on that wheel, you can bump the quality of your video stream up to like 1080, 1440, depending on your internet connection. So I'm actually just gonna, it's a little risky, but I'm just gonna see what that looks like in 1080. There we go. Oh yeah, see, that's much more crisp, more clear. Okay. So I am, and I'll get to your comments here in a minute. I'm embarking, and thank you, Instagram, for still being here. I am embarking on my third marathon training block. But in case you missed today's vlog from this morning, 12 hours ago, I talk about my marathon training plan for New York City. All right? New York City, November 7th, and of course, are you racing the New York City Marathon? You got to let us know in the live stream chat. I said this very clearly at one point in the vlog. This is not an ideal training block timeline, okay? I am embarking on a 9 to 10 week, basically 9.5 week training block for New York City, where it's very, very specific. And I'm going to break down the phases of my training here in a minute. But I always recommend 12 to 16 weeks for a marathon training block. Ideally, 16 is really the sweet number. Can you do 12? Yes. Can you do 10? We're about to find out. I know some of the elites do 18 weeks. I've seen a couple of training plans out there where they go all the way up to 20 weeks. I think that might be a little too long of a training block for a marathon. And yes, if you care to share, and if you've done marathon training in the past, and this is where the real value comes in, you guys can do some side conversation in the live stream chat. What is your sweet spot for your training blocks for a road marathon specifically? Okay, is it 10 weeks? Is it 12, 16? Maybe it's 22. All right, let us know in the chat. Okay, let's dive in. Speaking of the chat, diving in here we go. Alan says, yes, New York City training, but travel ban still in place. Here's to hoping. Oh, sorry, Alan. I hope to see you there, Alan. Thanks for letting us know. Okay, here we go. Yuval is saying sound and image is not synced. Ooh, you guys let me know. Is it not synced? Can you guys hear me and see me? Okay. I can take this, Tyler. I don't train by heart rate, and we'll get some more comments going here. I don't train by heart rate because there's so much sensory data that I am absorbing as I'm running, not through the watch, by listening to the body, that goes well beyond heart rate, okay? The lactate threshold, the listening to the legs, like the muscle, I don't want to call it cramping, the muscle fatigue. I'm absorbing, and I learned this method of training from my collegiate coach, just so you know, Tyler, at the University of Colorado. So he called it the sensory data, and frankly, this was 2005 to 2009. We didn't have smart watches. We didn't have GPS watches. They barely existed. Nobody had one on the cross country and track teams in college. And so he taught us, and I'm so grateful that he did, he taught us to listen to our breathing, even frankly, how much we're sweating, how much water we have to drink, Again, the lactate threshold, our heart rate as well. That's not completely discredited, but it's just like that is just one factor in the in what's happening in your body. So anyway, Tyler, I just was taught a different way from over 15. Let me think, 2011. Yeah, well over a decade ago. So there you go. Thanks for tuning in, Tyler. I do appreciate it. Okay, let me just make sure here. Brennan, I might be able to get to your thoughts here in a minute. Okay, Go Kaibo says it appears fine on my end. That is good. Okay, thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, mine is synced. Good. So Dylan, and we'll get to questions in a minute. I want to dive a little bit more. Into your marathons, okay? Okay, Nathan says, yeah, a live stream while Australia is awake. What time is it in Australia? Okay, very good. Okay, I'm just kind of catching up here. Mariella says, I'm running the Manchester Marathon on the 10th of October. Mariella, that gets me very, very excited. And here we go. This is a good. Tim says 16 weeks for his marathon training blocks. Tim, I'm right with you. Oh, what I wouldn't give to have a 16-week training block for the New York City Marathon. But as you all know the story, Pikes Peak Marathon takes precedence in my annual calendar year. But I am, and actually I saw H-Town Q in the chat, I think a second ago, and we were talking over on Discord yesterday about my 2022 racing calendar. And okay. My macro level goal is to qualify for the Olympic trials in the marathon here in the United States. And they have not announced the qualification time nor the window yet, as far as I know. Therefore, I'm hoping they announce it in early 2022. Okay, the official time, and then the correct window, the window that you have to qualify. My guess, because the Olympics are 2024 in Paris, my guess is they're going to announce at some point in 2022, and maybe even before the Houston half or full marathon, which is in January, and that's often a go-to race for Americans to chase down the OTQ. And so my thought is I will probably do CIM, the California International Marathon, next December 2022. Not New York City, not Chicago, not, I guess it'd be Berlin or London. No, yeah, Berlin and London are in the fall. And because then I could get a proper training block in for CIM, the California International Marathon, if that makes sense. So, okay, diving back in here, just want to clarify all that. Okay, here we go. Oliver's asking, Seth, do you think you'll ever run in the London Marathon? It's the best marathon ever. And you know what? I'm realizing I have the question mark up on the screen, so you guys are probably asking me questions, and we're going to dive into questions here in like 5 minutes, okay? Maybe 3 minutes, okay? I don't want to repeat myself too much, but I also want to drive home the point of my training. And thank you to the 34 people still tuning in over on Instagram. I appreciate you. If you want, you can hop over to YouTube for hopefully some better audio quality. All right, everyone on Instagram. And thank you to the 212 people. Let's hit that like button if you don't mind. Let DGR know that we are live. It's so crazy. The YouTube algorithm is just, it's so bizarre. I feel like the notification system from YouTube for the rest of the YouTube subscribers, I feel like YouTube needs to iron that out a little bit. So anyway, if you do hit the like button, it lets the rest of DGR know that we are in fact live, which is always fun to have a good chat in here. Okay, so Oliver, real quick, I 100% will race the London Marathon someday. 100%. 2023, 2024, I don't know, Oliver. I don't know when. Oliver, I can't wait to race in the UK. Yes, 100% I'll do. My goal, my bucket list is to get the 6 major marathons at some point. So Tokyo, London, Chicago, Boston, New York, and Berlin. And maybe Cape Town. Did you hear about that news? Cape Town, South Africa, their marathon, which I have no clue. Let us know if you're watching in South Africa. When is the Cape Town Marathon? It is now going to be reviewed from right now to 2025 by, I guess, the world major marathons. So they're going through the application process to get Cape Town. Yeah, I believe it's Cape Town in South Africa. So anyway, hello, and I'm so sorry. I will get to your questions. Save them. I see some great questions coming in, but I want to dive in here. But first, oh man, I'm so sorry. Carl, Carl, here we go. Come on now. Sorry if that's a little loud. Carl, you are a new member of the channel. Thanks for becoming a member, Carl. Oh, I do appreciate Carl, I recognize your little picture. Your little right there. Your little maybe it's the same one you use on Strava. Anyway, Carl, thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Okay, before I forget, here we go. The staple to my training, and then you guys can break it down, ask me questions, whatever you want. No secret here. I love long runs. I love that aerobic engine. I love endurance. I love stamina. I love getting to, like today, I did 22 miles at 6:55 a mile here at altitude, 5,000, not crazy altitude. We're not in Aitin, Kenya, at 8,000 feet, but still 5,280 feet isn't bad. And I felt strong. I felt very strong. Now I'm coming off of a great summer of training up in the mountains. So long runs are my staple. You guys know that. But I also know, and I'm holding this up because this is my training plan, my other runs that prove to me that I am becoming more fit. And hold on, let me just take this down there. Threshold runs. So lactate threshold runs, all right. Speed endurance, and then long run progressions. Okay? So lactate threshold. What's a run like that? That is, for me, here at altitude, basically 5:15 to 5:20 a mile. And what I like to do in my calendar is build early in the training block, start with 3 miles. Okay, so a 3-mile threshold where I'm approaching my lactate threshold, but I'm not pushing through my lactate threshold. And it's right around like that 5:15 to 5:20 a mile, again, here at altitude. So I'll start with 3 miles, and then I'll either do like 10 days later or 14 days later, depending on how the legs are feeling. I'll do my next one, and I'll do 6 miles. And then 10 days later, 14 days later, I'll do 9 miles. And then I'll cap it off with a 12-mile, okay? 12-mile lactate threshold run. That's when I know if I can do that here at altitude, I know I'm really starting to get fit and hold that pace, okay? And I guess I'll just say, back to the heart rate question from the gentleman earlier, is that if I train by anything, it's probably pace over heart rate, it's just like back to my college days, like we trained by pace. So just putting that out there. So lactate threshold runs, speed endurance. Okay, so what's that? And I don't think I actually mentioned this in the vlog this morning. I don't know if I spaced it. If I did, let me know in the chat. So speed endurance. So what I'm going to be doing is, 21 to 22 mile long runs. So that's the endurance side of it, okay? And this is especially key for the marathon over the half marathon, okay? I love the half marathon, but it's a fast race, frankly. I mean, the marathon, there's a little more patience in the game. At least that's been my experience. And again, I'm not a road marathon expert. I've only done, if you're new to the channel, I've only raced 2 road marathons, Amsterdam, New York City, and then last year they were all canceled. Okay, so I'm figuring this out as I go a little bit. And that's why, well, okay, I'll leave that for another time. So speed endurance, 21 to 22 mile long runs, and in the middle, mixing in 3 by 3K with a 1 kilometer float. So, and the 3Ks, so it'll be, I'll run, let's just call it 8 miles, not the warm up, but still, a solid pace. And then mixing in 3 by 3K with 1K rest, aka float, in between those 3Ks. And those 3Ks will be 90 to 95% of my goal race pace. Okay? So the GRP, the goal race pace, and which for me, if I could run around 5:15, if I could average 5:15s in New York City, that would be pretty amazing. 5:15 a mile, okay? 5:15. Keeping in mind, New York City is a little bit of a hillier course because the bridges you have to cross over, okay? All right, so there you go. That's speed endurance. 21 to 22 miles with 3 by 3K mixed in the middle with a 1K float in between. So that's the speed, endurance, boom. And then the long run progression. All right, that's pretty self-explanatory. I am going to take a little bit of a calculated risk in this training block where I'm going to bump up my long runs to 24 miles. I've never done that before. I've done long runs much longer than that, but I'll probably only do 2 of them, which is still a lot, I realize, but I usually cap my long runs at 23 miles, but as I'm always saying, like, you can't do the same thing and expect different results, so I'm going to bump up my long run to 24 miles and maybe 24 and a half miles, okay? And probably only do that twice. But the long run progression is where I will start at 7:15 a mile and then drop it down probably, so at the end of the long run, drop it down to 6:20, we'll call it, right around 6:20 a mile. So nothing crazy fast, but definitely, shaving off about a minute over those 24 miles. Okay? So that's kind of that's my bread and butter. That's my bread and butter, everybody. Will I do intervals? Yes, I probably will do 1 or 2 sessions. It's really not the staple of my training for a marathon. Okay? Whew. Okay, I just had to get that out there. Whew. Hopefully I didn't eat up too much time. All right, let's dive back in here. Okay. Okay, now we'll do the questions. Okay, now if you have a question, you just hit it up there in the live stream chat. There it is. Okay. All right, so what questions do you have about marathon training, New York City, the 6 major marathons, anything around marathons, okay? And I'll try and get more comments on the screen as well about your marathons, okay? No, let's just see here. Mallory, I'm almost to the point of committing to my first marathon next fall. When you talk about the weeks in your training block, are you talking about marathon-specific work, not just base building? So Mallory, when I talk about 16-week training blocks, Mallory, that includes the base building, okay? Does that make sense? So really, Mallory, for New York City this time around, I'm using the Pikes Peak Marathon training block as really, frankly, my base building. Because of the scheduling, I can't do a 16-week training block. So Mallory, I always advise at least 6 weeks and frankly 8 weeks of base building, but at least 6 weeks of just building that base, as I'm always talking about, Mallory, the roller coaster. Okay, so maybe you're starting at 15 to 20 miles the first week, all right, and then 25 to 35 miles the second week, and then 35 to 45. I don't know what your background is as far as volume, so that's what I'm talking about, the roller coaster. I like to hold my peak volume for 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks, okay? So that would be about week 9 to 10, Mallory. Okay, 9 and 10. 8, 9, 10. Okay, so 8, 9, 10 at the top of the roller coaster. And then, 8, 9, 10, 11. Again, this is why I write my training plan in pencil, okay? Because it's all by feel for me. I'm feeling how the body is responding to the stimulus, the stimuli of what I'm putting it through, okay? What I'm putting my legs through, which is sometimes a lot. And then I start to come down just a little bit when I start the speed work, more of the speed work, more of the speed endurance, okay? And yeah, all right. Does that make sense, Mallory? Hopefully that helps you there. Okay, diving back in here. Okay, let's see. Tyler, hey Seth, I have my first marathon coming up a week from this Sunday. Any race day tips and tricks? Going for completion rather than time. Thanks. I mean, nothing new on race day. Make sure you feel confident in your nutrition, your hydration, your shoe choice, your kit. So nothing new on race day. You know, I always write things on my arm, but trust your training. You know, hopefully you've put the training in so that you can actually say that the night before the race, I am going to trust my training. It really helps mentally on race day. Don't go out too fast, of course. You know, if I would, you know, I don't know if it's your first, oh my goodness, it's your first marathon. So I would err on the side, you know, like you kind of are already alluding to it, but err on the side of conservative that first half marathon and then see how you go from there. All right. Tyler, oh gosh, we could talk all day about that. Tyler, congrats. That's very exciting. Okay, I'm just trying to find as many as I can here, everyone. There's so many questions. Jay, I think I was just kind of referencing this a second ago. Do you like to run different paces during your long runs to simulate race effort at all? Yes. I mean, yes. And so that's what the speed endurance, Jay, once this live stream is over, you can watch the replay at about, let's see, it's 42 right now. So at about minute 37 or 38, go rewind and I talk about speed endurance, which changes up the paces. Okay, Bernard is saying, I'm running Chicago and New York City. Any advice on how to recover when running 2 marathons in close proximity? That's awesome. Well, I did that 2 years ago for Amsterdam and New York. It's a long story as to why I did that. You know, wouldn't necessarily, but Bernard, hello. That's a huge, big deal to get into both of those marathons. That's exciting, man. Just enjoy it. You know, I would probably focus on your time for Chicago since it's a faster course. And then New York City is just epic because of the crowds and the big city and the bridges. It's just so much fun. New York City is unbelievable. Bernard, so you're going to have, I think, about a month. So that's pretty good. I would walk and jog the first 2 days after Chicago. I would then take 3 days of active rest. Maybe you're cross training. Maybe you're going to the pool, walking a lot. But don't run. I would not run. So that's 5 days. And then I'd start to jog again. So I would about 5 days of kind of active rest recovery, but I wouldn't take, 10 to 14 days off after Chicago. I think it would make New York City almost harder. Foam roll, stretch, all that good stuff a lot right after Chicago. Oh, man, Bernard, just soak it up. That's very exciting, sir. Congrats, man. Okay. Francisco, I've got the Next Percent 2 in mind. I've got the A6 Metaspeed Sky in mind. I've got the RC Elite 2 in mind. I've got the A6 Metaspeed Edge in mind. Did I already say that, Metaspeed Sky? It is upstairs, though. I just ran in the Metaspeed Edge for the first time today. So, since you're here live, I want to bring you value. They felt solid. I don't know if they're a marathon shoe or if they're a half marathon 10K shoe yet. It's just my first run. I did get some slight hot spots on both of my Achilles tendons. So just a little bit of rubbing. So it might be the socks. I don't know, but just being very frank with you. And they're made more for cadence runners versus stride runners, the edge versus the sky. I'm more in the cadence camp, so in theory, the edge should be better for me than the sky. We'll see. I'll keep testing. Hopefully, I think if I keep testing these shoes, I'm going to have to put Band-Aids on my Achilles tendons, unfortunately. We're still live, Instagram. I'm live over on YouTube. I haven't forgotten about you. Love you, Instagram. Okay. So there you go, Francisco. Here we go. Just trying to find as many as possible. Oh, I'm so sorry. There's just hello, Kelvin. Okay, I'm sorry. There's just so many. What would be a goal marathon to OTQ? Well, I think to really give it a good go, Chicago would be a great one. Berlin would be a great one. Amsterdam, Hamburg. But of course, CIM and Houston are kind of the big ones. So, let's see. Could you explain why you don't train more at goal pace or even at a bit faster? The altitude is a little bit to do with it. And oh my goodness, I don't know exactly. I think what you're referencing is maybe not as many interval sessions, especially for the marathon. So I want to be strong the last 6 miles. Okay, I don't want to die. That's why, and my legs can only do so much work. So that's why I emphasize the endurance and the stamina side of marathon training a little, more so than the, let's say, speed work. But if you didn't hear me talking about the speed endurance, hopefully, again, rewind once this is over to the 37th or 38th minute, and I talk about that. Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, I see some member questions. I see Ashton and Dermot. Okay, hold on here. Here we go. Any plans to run a half marathon time trial in your build-up? Yes. I will announce. I'm not ready to announce it yet. I will be doing a half marathon tune-up 100%. And Ashton is also. I'll give a bell ring for Ashton and Dermot. Thanks for being members of the channel. Boom. Ashton is asking, what do you think of long tempos? I like 20-mile tempos once a month, around 5:30 or so, to get confidence for the pace. Not sure if it's all beneficial or too much. Ashton, so I was talking about earlier, I like my thresholds. Okay, so my threshold pace is right about 5:15 to 5:20 here at altitude, and I like to do 3 miles, 6 miles, 9 miles, 12 miles, okay? So I think 20-mile tempos, okay, I'll say I think it's a little too much. I think the length, I don't think you need to go 20 miles for a marathon. That's just my opinion, okay? And I would lean in the direction, if you're talking tempo, and I don't know exactly what your tempo pace is, if it's 5:30s, I'd lean closer in the direction of, nothing over half marathon, personally. I just don't know if your legs need that kind of work. I don't think you need that much work, personally speaking. All right, but Ashton, thanks for being here. Ashton's a local Colorado runner. Came out to the studio, the final run at the studio. Okay, here we go. How many miles will you put into your marathon race day shoe? Andy, basically 0. Okay. Only because, Andy, I've tested all the shoes, so I know how they fit. Andy, I'm a little bit in a unique situation. I will walk around the house. I might jog like 1 to 2 to 3 miles. But I'm in a unique situation. Basically, Andy, I want the full benefit from that midsole. And the carbon fiber plate, I don't want that to break down at all. Like, I want it all. So I want to get it all from those shoes. So, but listen, Andy, to give you more value, Andy, I would actually recommend at least doing 2 runs, no more than 3 runs in your race day shoes. Maybe like a 3-mile jog and like a 5-mile pickup. Where you're going a little bit faster, just to familiarize yourself with it. But personally, just for me, I don't like I like to get that full benefit from the midsole and the carbon fiber plate. Uh-oh, here we go. Hold on here. Oh boy, I'm a little behind here. Andy, come on now. Come on now. Come on now, Andy. You get the cowbell. Actually, let's do it. Come on. Why not? Why not? It's time. Enough of this question mark. Come on. We like to get a little more, always more cowbell in the basement. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel, Andy. I do appreciate it. It helps me keep the oil going. You know what I mean? Keep the engine turning here in the basement until we build out the studio. Okay, moving on here one more time. Okay, hopefully I'm bringing you guys some value. Brennan, I think you had a question earlier. Sorry, Brennan, if I missed it. Hey, Seth, if you are doing a half marathon tune-up, do you make it 4 weeks prior to the marathon or how far out from peak marathon race? Brennan, I usually like to do 3 weeks, okay? No less than 3 weeks, so not 2 weeks. And I would do a 4-week as well. All right, Brennan? I would do a 4-week as well. 3 to 4. Leaning in the direction of 3. For New York City, I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. All right, I'm still ironing out the details, as we like to say. Thank you, Brennan, for being here. Tropical runners always tuning in. Oh, my, 260 people tuning in. Thank you so much. Okay, Sam. And gosh, guys, I am realizing it's 4:51. I gotta go take over upstairs here in a few minutes. Okay, Seth, this will be my first marathon in New York City this year. As a guy who's done it before, do you consider it a hilly course? Any course tips? I do consider it a hilly course. I think it's 700 vertical feet, which is like not a ton, but it's not Berlin, it's not Chicago. 700 vertical feet. What's nice, Sam? Here we go, Sam. You ready for some little value here? I believe the Verrazano Narrows Bridge, which is the first bridge, and it's right off the starting line. I believe you knock out 150 to 200 vertical feet in like the first mile and a half or so, which is great. Your legs are fresh, and then you get a... Brooklyn is kind of rolly. It's I don't want to call it hilly, but it's deceiving. So be aware of Brooklyn. I thought Brooklyn was kind of rolly a little bit, more so than, and then, okay, one last tip, Sam, is there's a hill on the east side of Central Park, right before you enter the park. And it's, I think it's about mile 23 or so. I died real bad. And I don't know the name of that hill. I have footage of it because a guy was running alongside me with a GoPro. And it's not Fifth Avenue, is it? It might be Fifth Avenue. I don't even know. But it rocked me. It was about mile 23, and I just kind of fell apart a little bit after that. Sam, we will see you in New York City. Okay, you are welcome, Brennan. Anytime, Brennan. Oh, thank you, Jamie. Dominic, okay, is here. Let's see. Yes, okay, here we go. Alex is saying that Fifth Avenue uphill on the way to Central Park is surely noticeable around mile 23 to 24. Boom. Okay, so it is Fifth Avenue, according to Alex. Thank you, Alex. Okay. Yes, there we go. Douglas is confirming as well. 23rd mile, Fifth Avenue Hill. If you have a chance to practice it beforehand, I highly recommend it. It's a deceptive niche. Yes, I tell you what, that was a good, it got me real good 2 years ago. But I learned. Okay, let's do a few more questions here before I do have to sign off here in a minute. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see. Okay, Tyler or Travis is asking, let's see, for a half marathon tune-up 3 weeks before marathon, run MP or half marathon pace? Marathon pace or half marathon pace? PR pace? Oh, that's a good question. See, this is where, Travis, I'm frankly just continuing to try and garner as much experience as possible. And I'm realizing I have not hopped over. Oh my goodness, I don't even know where my phone is. Don't even know. I haven't hopped over to Discord today. If you're on Discord, I apologize. I don't even know where my phone is, and Discord is closed down on the desktop. Anyway, I love you, Discord. You know I love you. Okay. I would say, if I had to say, oh, Travis, I mean, if you're going to go to a race, it's hard. I'm not saying you want to kill yourself, like go all out, but at the same time, it's a race day experience, race day effort. Like, you don't want to, for me, I wouldn't want to mentally psych myself out by thinking like this is a practice. That's just how I operate, though. So it's a good question, Travis. Frankly, Travis, I need to get you a better answer after my tune-up half marathon. Okay, so come back, Travis. That's a good one. I like that question. Okay, here we go. Chris says, not a question, but just want to share. Ran the Manitoba half marathon in Canada this past Sunday, and the first one back in Canada. I'm almost 2 years. Felt so good to be on a live start line. Congratulations, Chris. Okay. Lou, I'm about to sign off. Thank you for tuning in, Lou. You're going to enjoy watching the rerun, okay? So once I hit stop, it usually processes for about a minute, and then you can go back and watch the rerun. And we'll take this one to wrap it up from, I'm so sorry. I wish, man, maybe you could type how I would pronounce that. I'm guessing the D might be, because you are a member of the channel, and I appreciate it, and I want to get your name down. Nyanesh, perhaps, is the D silent? Anyway, thank you for being here. As always, do you have goosebumps when standing at the start line? Any occasion where you doubt about your abilities? I only doubt, Nyanesh, I'm just going to go with it, if I didn't put in the work, if I didn't put in the training. I'll just tell you, I basically knew I was going to win the Pikes Peak Marathon because I knew, yes, Nyanesh, you are awesome. I got it. Nyanesh, awesome. I knew I was going to win the Pikes Peak Marathon because I had put in the work. Okay? Boom. So the only time, and yes, I don't really get goosebumps, but I do get, yeah, it's exciting. But I don't get, it's like I try and stay calm. That's a tip of the day. I try and stay calm to keep everything in check, all that sensory data, and, the heart rate as well. Keep everything calm on the starting line. So I don't jump around. I'm not like listening to loud music. I'm just calm on the starting line. Boom. Let's go. Thanks for tuning in on a Thursday afternoon. That was fun. Onward and upward. Keep turning that doorknob. If you're just joining live, we talked for about 45 minutes. It's about 5 p.m. here, which means the workday is almost done. I'm going up to the family, and I love you guys. DGR strong, and we will see you, if you're going to New York City, we will see you at the group run Central Park Friday morning, just so you're aware. All right. I don't know the exact time or location yet. I will let you know. All right. Oh, let me just see. All right, Instagram, I'm signing off from you as well. Thank you, Instagram. All right. As I always say, seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you 5 a.m. tomorrow.